allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence.
Please be seated. And now to today's history and sports.
Here's a look at this day in history. November 1st.
In 1765, the British Parliament passed the Stamp Act, an unpopular tax on its American colonies. On this day in 1938, Seabiscuit upset favorite War Admiral, what was called horse racing's match of the century. This day in 1993, the European Union was established. And on this day in 1512, Michelangelo unveiled his Sistine Chapel. Devoted to the book of Genesis, it contains 300 figures, all painted while he was lying on his back atop a 60-foot scaffold. For him, it was backaches and ice cream. For those who stand in awe under it, it is nothing short of divine. And that's this day in history.
Hi, I'm Dr. Holly Pulio. Studies have shown a correlation between untreated hearing loss, depression, diabetes, memory loss, and heart disease. Call Gateway Hearing Solutions today, your gateway to healthy hearing.
Congrats to all the honorees. Girls D2 field hockey semis. Lincoln taking on South Kingstown winner to face Wheeler in Sunday's final. Lynx with a second half lead. They add to it off the corner. Georgianne DeFeo shot saved, but her sister there to knock it home. Addie DeFeo with a nice finish. Pair of goals for her. A little later, Georgianne, the long pass ahead to Anna Beliveau. She finds the back of the goal. Lincoln school wins 4-0 is the final. Game 7 of the world.
Green Airport is redefining hassle-free.
Hi, I'm Gabriella Pascal.
And I'm Alicia Fortunati, and you're watching Ferry Live.
The weather today is mostly sunny, with a high temp of 54 degrees and a low of 33 degrees. The wind speed today is 15 miles per hour. The wind direction is south. The humidity today is 69%. Today's lunch is scheduled as the following. First lunch is 7 blue and 7 white. Second lunch is 8 blue. Third lunch is 6 blue and 6 white, and fourth lunch is 8 white. Today's quote of the day: kindness is a language with which the deaf can hear and the blind can see, by Mark Twain. Good morning. Starting Monday, November 4th, we will only broadcast on the Ferry Live program on YouTube. Mr. Pistacco sent the link for students and teachers to subscribe. Students can watch directly on their lone device after subscribing. Teachers can also display Ferry Live by Chromecast or Direct Wire on their screen. Most advisories have the connection. If you need the HDMI cable to connect to your screen, please see Mr. Pistacco. A student's device can be connected if your device is needed for attendance. The Channel 1 system will be disconnected on November 4th. We will no longer be able to broadcast movies in this manner. Thank you. These items were found throughout the building. If they are yours, please claim them in the library as soon as possible. And now to Selena. Alicia.
Thank you, Gabby. Today's joke of the day is, what type of bagel can fly?
What?
A plain bagel. Today's fun fact is, if trees show buds in November, the winter will last until May.
Interesting.
I know. Attention students, the Scholastic Book Fair is coming in November. The dates are Thursday, November 21st, Friday, November 22nd, and Monday, November 25th. Lots of great book titles and gift ideas will be for sale. Book talks will start next week and for our raffle. Stay tuned. I repeat, The Scholastic Book Fair is coming in November. The dates are Thursday, November 21st, Friday, November 22nd, and Monday, November 25th. Lots of great book titles and gift ideas will be for sale. Book talks will start next week for our raffle. Stay tuned. Thank you. Attention students, we are asking for every student to please give your clean styrofoam trays to the members of the green team. Every lunch, yes, every lunch. If it is clean, please keep it clean and do the right thing. Your Earth thanks you. Attention 8th graders, there will be an 8th grade Washington trip meeting on Tuesday, November 5th at 6 p.m. for parents in the library. I repeat, there will be an 8th grade Washington trip meeting on Tuesday, November 5th at 6 p.m. for parents in the library. Attention students and teachers, there is a joke submission box in the library. If you would like to submit a joke for Fairy Live, please bring it down to this blue submission box. I repeat, there is a blue submission box in the library. If you would like to submit a joke for Fairy Live, please bring it down to this blue submission box. We would love to have your jokes. Thank you. Fairy, forever educating respectful, responsible individuals.
That's all for today. I'm Gabriella Pascal.
And I'm Alicia Fortunati. We'll have more news for you next time.
Until then, have a fantastic Friday.
Hi, I'm Carl Zeus, kicking off something special for you today on CNN 10. Why? Because Fridays are awesome. And this Friday's show is centered on one big topic, because in the business world, there are fewer big topics than Amazon. In 1995, it had begun as a retail website that sold books and not much else. From there, well, it's grown a bit. Amazon sells most of the stuff you can buy at a mall and a grocery store and many other types of stores too. It offers online content, cloud computing, and it not only still sells books, it helps people publish them. Last year, Amazon became the second company behind Apple whose total market value exceeded $1 trillion. Amazon did that in 24 years, a relatively short amount of time to get that valuable. Its founder, Jeff Bezos, is one of the 2 richest people on the planet. He and Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates are each worth more than $100 billion. But Amazon has seen its share of bumps in the road. The company's been criticized in the past for what it pays its employees. 2 years ago, for instance, half of its employees earn less than $28,000. That was roughly $20,000 less than the average wage in America. And thousands of retail stores have shut down in recent years, with tens of thousands of retail jobs lost because Americans have been spending less time shopping in stores and more time shopping on sites like Amazon. Also, privacy advocates have raised concerns about Amazon's Echo and the other smart speakers like it, because they're always listening. Who else could have access to your conversations besides Alexa? Amazon is massive. It has more than 650,000 employees around the world. It's complicated, like some of the challenges it's faced and created. It's also changing the way the world buys goods.
Welcome. Swipe in here. Amazon Go is the ultimate grab-and-go shopping experience.
You literally grab it off the shelves and go.
You use the app to enter the store. Once you're in, you can put the phone away. And you shop the rest of the store just like you would any other store, with one key difference. When you're done, you can just walk out.
Nothing is simple about the technology behind this cashierless store. The Amazon Go Market uses artificial intelligence to monitor what you've reached for on the shelf and to make sure you're charged for what you walked out with and nothing else.
What we had to do unique in this use case was build the sensors, the cameras.
All these cameras and sensors above us.
The cameras in the ceiling. We had to build the specific machine learning algorithms. The problem that we have to solve in Amazon Go is who took what. When I take this item off the shelf, it's in my virtual cart. When I put it back, the item goes back. It's an easy problem to solve when you have a single person in the store, but when there's multiple people, a lot of products, if you look around, look very similar to each other.
Right.
So that's where the challenge comes in.
The Amazon Go store is by no means the only place where Amazon uses AI.
We've got hundreds of teams working on artificial intelligence programs across Amazon. Artificial intelligence, like machine learning, powers the simplicity that we always want to offer to our customers.
Whether it's fulfilling orders or delivering packages, those teams are working constantly to improve the customer's experience. Inside Amazon's warehouses, AI is hard at work. These are Amazon Robotics drive units.
Once a customer actually purchases an item, either on their mobile app or on their computer or laptop, the system identifies the pod where the item is actually located in a field, and the bot maps out the most efficient way through using machine learning to get that pod, which has that item that customer purchased, to the associate.
So there's some people out there that will hear robots, machine learning, AI, and think jobs, they're going to be gone.
What we've actually determined when we've actually deployed our solutions in our fulfillment networks is that we actually are relying a lot more on our associates. We've increased their efficiency, and it really gives them the ability to work on different tasks. And we've actually grown our associate employments across the globe to date.
Alexa, order dog biscuits.
And of course,
One moment.
the AI tool you're most familiar with
Here's what I found.
is always learning new tricks.
Achieving what Alexa is right now is a super hard challenge. Going from that to the future, I would like Alexa to respond to your mood, your sentiment, your feelings as expressed in your speech. The one key advantage we have is we now have so much more data. So is it a big challenge? Yes. Are we up to that challenge? Heck yes.
In the evolution of Alexa, is it still in its infancy? Is it a toddler now, or is she a toddler now, an adolescent, teenager? Certainly hasn't graduated from college.
No, AI hasn't graduated from college overall, right? And I think AI as a field is in its infancy. Think of it as a older toddler, who's going to grow up to be an adult that just stuns us with her brilliance, right? Is where we are.
Is Amazon a monopoly? Well, it's not really an easy question to answer. First, you have to understand what the core tenet of Jeff Bezos' business philosophy is: patience. Go back to the original letter that Jeff Bezos wrote investors in 1997. He wrote that investors to Amazon shouldn't expect Amazon to operate like most companies, because Amazon wouldn't judge itself by short-term profits, the thing that almost every other company cares about, only the long term. And Bezos and Amazon stayed true to that. Its first few years, Amazon barely made a profit. It invested billions of dollars back into the business, and it just kept growing and growing and growing and growing. And now that patience has paid off with incredible profits over the last few years. We all know on some level what a monopoly is. We played the game. But in the context of antitrust law, it's a specific thing. It's meant to stop a company from forming that can dominate the market in such a way that competition is impossible. Those who do not think Amazon is a monopoly say that because Amazon is offering its customers lower prices, it can't possibly be an antitrust case. Those low prices are a benefit to consumer welfare, and it would be impossible to regulate exactly how low is too low for prices.
The lodestar of antitrust enforcement is, how are consumers affected? Do consumers pay more? Do they have less choice? Then it's time for the antitrust cops to get on the beat.
This is David Balto. He worked on antitrust cases for the Justice Department and the FTC for years and is skeptical about Amazon being a monopoly.
When consumers are paying less and have a greater amount of choice, which seems to be the simple message from Amazon's business model, there's not a reason for intense antitrust scrutiny.
But some say that business model is a direct threat to customers. This is Lena Khan. She's a lawyer who has really helped shape the debate around Amazon and antitrust law. To people like her, Amazon's willingness to sustain massive losses isn't just a savvy business move. It's an example of predatory pricing.
So predatory pricing is when a company prices a good below cost and is doing so basically in order to drive out its competitors so that it is able to kind of enjoy a dominant place in the market.
All of those things are a really high bar for the government to prove. And because of that, a successful case on predatory pricing hasn't been litigated in decades.
That's not for a lack of will. We certainly at the FTC and the Clinton administration had predatory pricing investigations. But at the end of the day, you have to convince yourself that consumers would be better off if you stop these practices. And that's like looking for a unicorn.
But to those who do think Amazon right now is acting as a monopoly, the government's view of predatory pricing is outdated.
The reality is with tech companies, you have a marketplace where that is winner take all. So if you're a Facebook or an Amazon or a Google, your main goal is to try and acquire as many users as possible at the very earliest stages, because once you have a lot of users, it's going to be much more difficult for rivals to divert users away from you. And so in that scenario, predatory pricing actually becomes very rational.
It's important to note that the question of predatory pricing is really only one of the questions surrounding Amazon. There are also concerns about just how large Amazon has become as a business.
So in addition to being an online retailer, it also is a huge content producer, is a book publisher, it has a huge cloud computing service. The fact that Amazon is involved in all these different lines of business positions it to use its dominance in the online space in order to benefit its other lines of businesses. And I think that's something that's really problematic.
What we want from a consumer's perspective is for those people who provide services for us to use the bargaining leverage of having all those customers to lower costs as much as possible. And that's fundamentally what Amazon has done.
So whether Amazon has an unfair advantage over its competitors, whether it's a monopoly, all those things are an open debate. But what is not a debate is right now, Amazon is winning.